oftentimes do everything but their sons, and they have that emotional stability that is built within the home. A single mother is a factory. Single women become so emotionally dependent upon their children, specifically their sons, that they will convince themselves that they don't need a man.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got a sister, man, who is spitting some fire, right? We got a sister who's spitting some fire, man, exposing a lot of stuff that you see going on in a lot of these relationships with the mother and the son. She's exposing how a lot of your women are acting today, right? How a lot of your sons, man, who are growing up soft, sensitive, growing up degenerates, she's essentially showing you how they even worked up to that point, how they became the same men they swear up and down are deadbeats, or this or that, or this or that. And once again, it always stems from being in a single parent household raised by who? By your mother. But you can't even say stuff like that without being called a misogynist, without saying, hey, you must hate your own, you're this, you're that. And once again, it's just facts, right? It's just facts, because I see it on a daily. Working with a customer, right? And I'm seeing how she interacts with her child, right? And I'm like, dude, like, it doesn't look good, right? You somewhere in your 40s, your child over here in high school, right? And you can just see the dynamic that they have, that she coddled this boy, that she babied this boy for years on end. And as this lady says, pretty much replacing that void, right, that a man's supposed to be in, right? You're replacing that with your son, right? So a lot of these women do not have sons, they have men, right? They have boyfriends or whatever that they find within their son, right? So I mean, hey, once again, when she's saying it, I'm like, dang, kind of makes sense, because once again, and it's mainly talking about sisters, because a lot of your sisters look at their sons as best friends, look at their sons as somebody, man, that, oh man, this is the man that I truly wanted. So once again, like I said, you see it today. So many sisters dress their little daughters like they about to sit over here and go to the club with them. They're dressed their sons, man, like this dude, man, supposed to be on a block somewhere selling some dope. Once again, man, it's like, why? Right? What's the purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? You see this shit every time. They want to make these little baby stylish as all get out, man. Sit over here having these 3-year-old boys, man, with freaking little juicy curls in their head or something like that, and got a freaking chain on their wrist, earrings. I'm like, bro, what is this? Like, what is this? If you don't put some Spider-Man shoes on this dude, bro, put a shirt on this man, and cut this dude hair, man, like how we used to have when we were little, right? Y'all remember, man, back in the early 2000s, bro, where I'm talking about for all the people, man, who are 27 years of age, 25 years of age, 30 years of age. Y'all remember, man, when we were young, back in the early 2000s, everybody had the same haircut. They either had a low cut fade or whatever, or they just had a bald head. That's just a fact, right? That's a fact. Then when you look at the 3-year-olds today, when you look at the 4 or 5-year-olds today, once again, you look at the mothers, you're like, oh, these are your Gen Z mothers, your millennial mothers or whatever. They dressing their damn kids like they about to go to a club at the age of 3, at the age of 4. They dressing their sons, man, like it's just like, what in the hell? Like these dudes done got an NIL deal or something. They dressing these boys like they sponsored, man, by DTLR. Like, what in the world? Like they sponsored by Foot Locker or something. And it's like, man, once again, you're doing way too much with your children. You're doing way too much with your children. And that's how a lot of your sisters are acting today. Let's go ahead and jump into this video.
Oftentimes do everything but fuck their sons, and they have that emotional stability that is built within the home. A single mother is a fuckboy factory. Single women become so emotionally dependent upon their children, specifically their sons, that they will convince themselves that they don't need a man until they encounter the space from being alone to genuinely being lonely. And now we're having to deal with the imbalance that was set in the household, because this boy is not your son, he is your man. When you want to cuddle, you go lay down with them. When you want some emotional time, you go watch movies with them, you touch them and you rub them and you massage them. You do these things, everything that you would do to a man to suffice that. A lot of women even dress their sons like the man that broke their heart.
This is tough.
So I think that that's the dichotomy. Like, I'm not saying that your children shouldn't have weight in your relationship, right, but what I am saying that we have to look at it from an integral space. Like, why do they feel this way? Especially if you're dealing with a man child who is uncomfortable with your new partner, and this man child is not necessarily a little boy anymore.
Ooh, it's spicy. That's spicy. Ooh, I like that, bro, because once again, it sums it up, right? It sums up your modern sister today, right? Call it for what it is. It sums up your modern sister today. A lot of these sisters, right? A lot of these women, mainly your sisters, right? Dress their kids up. They dress their kids up as the ideal man, right? And it's, once again, it's sad and it's sick. It's sad and it's sick. But what's funnier and sicker is some of these comments that we're about to read. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments. Sis, I'm with you, right? I am with you. I am 1,000% with you, because once again, this is what we see on a daily, right? This is what we see on a daily. When you look at a lot of these men who are wearing purses, when you look at a lot of these men who are painting their fingernails, when you're looking at a lot of these men who are, very sensitive, get hurt easily, right? Want to sit over here and pull a gun out on you, man, just because you have a simple disagreement with them, because you stepped on their shoes, because they felt like they've been disrespected in the slightest of ways or whatever, right? A lot of these guys are raised from your single mothers. These very sensitive, soft, cotton candy guys are raised from your mothers. They are raised by your mothers. So somebody else says, so why y'all don't call CPS or the cops, because this is grooming? I guess y'all didn't care that much in real life, just on IG. Got it. Question though, was this a grown man or was this a child? I'm just asking because I found this to be very weird behavior. I don't know what you're talking about, right? I'm pretty sure the sister above, right, Tavia, was obviously talking about grown men. Why would you call CPS on grown men? Grown men can still be mama boys too, right? But I'm assuming that the sister is talking about this sister right here, Pat Dodot. Who is that, right? So I'm guessing, so obviously one of the hit dogs that are hollering is Pat Dodot or whatever the hell, right? Somebody else says girl, right? And then you got 34 more comments behind that. Somebody else says 3 A's all modern women want: the authority of a man, the advantage of a woman, the accountability of a child. Oh my goodness. Oh my freaking goodness. We got to read those comments, right? So somebody else says, interesting. Care to elaborate? Wouldn't need to elaborate, because once again, it's very self-explanatory. Somebody else says, if you need that elaborated, then you have no common sense. Thank you. Right? Thank you. As I just said, if you sit over here and need it, it's self-explanatory, right? It's self-explanatory. Somebody else says, go ahead and cook then, fam. Somebody else says triple A just ain't for car insurance. Somebody else says, bro, you seffing. And then somebody else says, and for people like you, since it's far from common, right? Okay. Right. So once again, obviously sis got offended. Sis felt upset because she got cleared. And hey, once again, common sense ain't so common with people's Pender Desire or Desiree. So somebody else says, women always disagree with the truth. LMAO. Somebody else says, where she get that kind of thinking from? People say anything on these podcasts if you let them. What the hell? So let's go ahead and read those comments, right? This is one of the other women that's pretty much a hit dog. So somebody responds to her and says, it's on YouTube. Men are speaking out how they moms turn them into husband sons. Type that term in and the truth is out there. And the truth is out about these certain types of females, right? Somebody else goes on to say that lady is very intelligent and tells it how it's supposed to be. Why are y'all afraid of the truth? Somebody else says she is right. I'm sorry, these moms be doing way too much. I'm gonna add that in there, way too much. Somebody else says, nah, being an observant Gen X, I've seen it quite often, especially dating in my 20s and 30s. Somebody else says, for real. Somebody else says, this is very common. Somebody else says, you triggered, your ears bleeding, must be some of the truth if you feel away. And then somebody else says, black woman in denial, which is true. Somebody else says, this is definitely a hell of more common than these comments are making it seem. It is. Right, it is. And once again, you got to understand where it stems from. Y'all do understand most of your murderers, rapists, robbers, all of these people, that a lot of these brothers that's in jail come from your single parent households, and they are raised by who? their mothers. They're raised by their mothers. So they bring a lot of these traits because it's not good for a man to have female feelings. Because when you sit over here and do that, man, you are a man. You are a man of destruction, right? You have a lot of strength, a lot of power, right? So an emotional man is just not good for society, right? It's not good for society because once again, you get a man, he's very emotional. You go out here, you go hurting people. You don't know how to bottle up your emotions. You don't know how to have simple conversations. Their mother never taught them that. The mother said, hey, well, no, it's okay. Well, you know, hey, you don't have to worry about that, son. I got you. I love you. Yada, yada. Always being there coddling the boy. That's why a lot of people say women cannot raise boys to be men. But once again, you're seeing a lot of sisters choosing to be single mothers and saying, I can do it on my own. I don't need a man.
Be cheating or you gonna be fucking with somebody else, then that's not the one for you. Right. But what's your end goals? Like, what do y'all want to be? Do you guys want to be somebody's wife? What do you want to be?
Yeah, see, we talk about that all the time on the show. Sometimes I don't really know if I necessarily want to get married.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids, but I'm not sure if I want to get married.
So why do you, this is my question.
Okay.
Why, do you want to have kids?
Hell no! She always say she don't want to have kids.
We gonna drink. I got too much shit to do. But why? Okay, so you don't want to have kids. So, okay, you a different story. But you,
Okay.
you want to have kids, but you don't know if you want to get married. So that means that you already gonna be. You're planning to already bring this child into and have a deficit in their life, right?
I mean, I feel like if I find the right person, we could get married. Sometimes I don't really have a lot of faith in
But do you have to
these
find
niggas.
the right person to have the baby?
I do think I have to find the right person to have a kid, but I also feel like I'm in a position where I'm doing things for my own, so I would completely be okay with having to take on that responsibility by myself as far as financial shit go, if I have to.
I don't think that's okay.
I don't think it's okay neither, but I feel like it's the reality of like the generation that we live in, because I just feel like that's how most of these niggas are. I do.
No, those are the niggas that you going after. You got to find somebody that's going to.
But I don't really be going after nobody. It be the people that be coming after me. I don't go.
And guess what? They end up raising these boys. They end up raising these boys who are in jail, right? They end up raising very sensitive males. They end up raising a bunch of boys, man, who think it's okay to paint fingernails, wear purses, you know, pull a little strap out of their purse and try to shoot you just because, hey, why I feel disrespected. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm a real gang. I'm a real G. I'm a real nigga. I don't play that. Once again, you got to see where it stems from. Do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.